Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Sound of Accra Podcast. As you already know, this is the show where we chat with colourful creatives and entrepreneurs from a Ghanaian heritage or interest, promoting global Ghanaian excellence to the world. We got 100K in the house, 100K for Ghana.
100K for Ghana.
100K for Ghana, to be more specific.
Yes.
Yep, I didn't want to mix it up with something else, with a rap video or with, I don't know, some kind of cash amount, some cash prize. Charlie? How you guys doing? Samuel, Enoch, thank you for coming through. How you guys doing?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And Adrian, for your listeners and viewers, just for the record, 100K for Ghana. I know we've been described on some of the other publications as diasporans coming back to Ghana. No. For the record, we're not diasporans. We were born here, right? We are citizens of this nation.
Yep.
Myself, I was born and raised in Ghana. Samuel, same. Koforidua, Kumasi for me. Yeah. So it's not a diaspora-led entity, 100K for Ghana. We are natives. And just because we don't maybe have a permanent address here doesn't mean that, the diaspora word can be used for other folks, and we all seen them come back, and it's great to see that. But we are natives of this nation, and we also want to progress this nation, and that's about it. So I just want to label that for the record.
Welcome
Thanks for having us.
Wow, what an intro, but it's facts, it's actual facts, right? Because I think there is a confusion between the diaspora and the natives, and obviously you guys, you're right, you're claiming that you guys are claiming what's actual truth. You're born here, it's not that you're jumping on this hype or this wave and you're trying to claim to do something. You're actually from here. Mm-hmm. You've seen everything on the ground, and now you want to make a significant contribution to the Ghanaian people.
That's it.
This is what it's all about.
Exactly.
All right. So let's talk. Let's dive straight into 100K for Ghana. So, what is the actual? Okay. So what actually triggered? Like, how did the idea get conceived? What actually triggered the establishment of the 100K for Ghana initiative? Like, what were some of the problems, Enoch, Samuel, that you guys saw? I mean, sure, they're some of them may be obvious, some of them maybe not so obvious, that you saw that kind of led to 100K for Ghana coming to life. What were some of the...
Yeah, I think so. I myself, being the founder, the president, CEO, whatever label that my team wants to give me, I'm more than happy to take it. But it's a combination of several things, right? So number one, the lockdown gave all of us an opportunity to reflect, right? And we all did some sort of reflecting. Yeah. And also, I think for me, the stars aligned where when I turned 34, I realized that actually I've been in my respective industry, which is technology, for the past decade now. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking about, what does the next decade look like for me, right? Am I going to stay in this rat race and, paying my taxes as a good, a tax-paying citizen in the UK? Or do I want to do a little bit more? I suppose it was probably an early a midlife crisis. So that aligned.
Oh man, midlife crisis.
Yeah. I have an old soul, right? So mine came early. So with that happening, and also the start aligning with just having a platform where I began to meet a lot of Ghanaians on Clubhouse, and a lot of Ghanaians who were in the UK, in the US, in Canada, as well as, on the continent. Mm-hmm. And it was a collective goal that I kept hearing, that we all want a Ghana we could be proud of, right? And so I often would ask the question, so what are we doing about that?
True.
What are we doing about it? We want better roads. We want better systems, better services. What are we doing about it, right? So maybe I'm crazy, but I decided actually we all want the same thing. So why don't we all come together and build that thing that we want? Yeah. Right? So 100K for Ghana simply means there's 30 million Ghanaians on the continent. There's 4 million outside of the continent. That's 34 odd million, right? Mm-hmm. Even if we got just 100,000 of us, right, collectively, and I picked this number, by just chance, and I said, £165 is the contribution that every single 100,000 individual can put into a pot. That's £16.5 million per annum.
Okay. Is that if they contribute? Is that if they contribute annually or per month?
Yeah. Well, that's the idea, right? If it's £165 that you want to pay for that in installments, by all means, go ahead.
Okay.
Right. But it's simply saying, listen, maybe I live in Ghana, maybe I live in Canada, I live in the UK, and I want to jump on a vehicle that will help with development in Ghana. So you know what? Here's my £30 a month or whatever it may be. Okay. Or maybe Samuel will say, I've got 165. Bang, here you go. But then it's going to a vehicle where we collectively say, okay, we want to help our fellow Ghanaians per annum in the development initiatives. And that's all it was. So 100K for Ghana, I'm simply saying, here's a challenge to just 100,000 Ghanaians. Right? £165. Let's see what we can do with that. And actually, imagine if we can then expand that to 1 million Ghanaians. What can we not do as a collective with that kind of money? And that's it. It's just a challenge for us, right? And so far, so good, right? We're building that 100K community quite well. People have contributed. And remember, we've only been around 5 months. So we actually started this in the middle of last year, right? In the middle of 2021. And we're going to start again this year. And some of your viewers and listeners would have already seen in a short period of time what we've been able to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have everything in the show notes. But for those of you who are new to the 100K for Ghana initiative, we'll have all the other links and media clips on the show notes. So that's thesoundofaccra.com/100K for Ghana. Okay? So we'll have all of that in the show notes.
Hi, we are 100K for Ghana. We are an impact funding initiative organisation with the primary purpose to implement livable wage jobs for average Ghanaians. This will make our people self-sufficient and give them better access to education, healthcare, and improvement in standards of living. Social enterprises across agribusiness, textiles, and food processing are some of the areas we aim to focus on. Scaling up these projects will help support the growth and sustainability of our industrial sector. Building a nation that harnesses the wealth in Ghana will require a collective effort to ensure all sectors are well resourced with a Ghanaian workforce, so that we can provide livable wages for the 99% of our people.
So imagine seeing the wealth of our country translated into our industrial sector, like expansion of multiple social enterprises and factories that present numerous job opportunities. Job opportunities that pay livable wages to our talented workforce in order for them to be able to provide for their families and communities. Each region with multiple sustainable organizations that are thriving and supporting our people.
We want 100,000 Ghanaians worldwide to donate to 100K for Ghana. This will help support growing our industrial sector.
Back to what you just said, Enoch. So in terms of like the donations, right? Are you looking for a monthly commitment, or is it like whatever people can afford for the year? I mean, is there like a specific donation, or is it what people can generally afford, but to sustain it like on a monthly basis?
So I mean, Samuel's here. So Samuel is our financial director. So you're talking about numbers.
Avengers.
That's right.
Everyone's playing their part.
Absolutely. So I'll let Samuel take that, and then I could chime in.
Yeah. So no, just to touch on what Enoch mentioned as well. Now this came about. So last year, I think I was in the States at that time, and me and him have about our birthdays are roughly a month apart, April, and I'm in May.
Yeah.
And we went to the same university as well, by the way, Oxford Bush University. We've known each other for some time, and we've been talking about doing something in Ghana and for Ghana for some time.
Yeah.
And I remember I was going through the same phase, and this guy had sleepless nights.
Hey.
This guy would wake up with sore eyes. Sammy, we have to do something. We have to do something. We need to do something. So it's amazing to see where we are now, and and just looking back at how it all started. And essentially, Enoch's vision was essentially just to set up social enterprises, but it has to be sustainable. We don't want to essentially just rely on donations. We want this, the enterprises to run itself. Back to the funding is £165 or equivalent in any other currency, and it's per annum.
Per annum, okay.
But whatever you can contribute, we will accept. Or whatever support you can give, it's not essentially just monetary donations we are looking for.
Yeah.
If recently we did a health screening at the Volta region and at the Dome Hospital, and we were lucky and blessed enough to get 3 hospital beds, from various sponsors and partners, and we were able to donate that to the hospitals.
Fantastic.
So that's an amazing support in itself. In terms of financial support, just to be specific, it's £165 or equivalent in any other currency per annum, or anything that anyone can contribute, or you can break it up in monthly installments. And what we plan to do, or what we do, is that anytime you do donate, we take note of every person that's donated. We want to basically make sure that we keep in touch with that person. We want to build a community, like Enoch said.
Fantastic. Yeah. So how did you come up with this? So obviously 165 is obviously the ideal number per annum. I mean, that's very achievable. For a second, I thought it was maybe 165 per month, and I would have said that may put some people off. How did you come up with this figure? Did you kind of like base it on like an annual target that you guys have, or is it just?
I'll let you know.
Okay, so
back to the boss. The finance one could have taken that one.
Yeah, no, I mean, finance. No. So here's the thing, right? Again, because the stars were aligning. Yeah. I began to look at some of the amazing development projects that's happened in Ghana, right? When you look at initiatives like a juice factory being built in, I believe, the central region, and you look at some of the already large organizations running in Ghana, and I started doing just some very high level research, and I realized that the figure is around sort of $10 to $20 million to build up some of these factories and corporations. So the 165 times 100,000, for me, it was almost as if whilst we're trying to build social enterprises, that's plenty of money, because I'll tell you now, what we've raised so far is probably a fraction of what I'm talking about here, but we've been able to make some headway, right? So actually, if you look at building a let's just say a Gary processing factory as an example, to employ about 500 people, right? Yes, you may be able to build out something with $5 million or even less than $5 million or pounds. But actually, we're basically, like I said, giving a challenge over to Ghanaians just like us, whether you live here or not, whether you're born here or not, to actually contribute on this larger scale. And I want to also say that the 165, again, when you look at some of the projects that have been really successful here, you're looking around those sort of figures, right? So we wanted to give ourselves that challenge. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks for explaining that. I quickly want to jump into the Clubhouse thing before I move into like the next segment. Clubhouse, I think last year, during like the aftermath of 2020, and even maybe a little bit during 2020, I think Clubhouse was really, really, on fire. A lot of heated and controversial and yet productive conversations took place. For those of you who don't know much about Clubhouse, so basically Clubhouse is a social audio room platform. So think of it as live podcasts that you can just jump in from one room to another. Think of it as live podcast parties in that kind of sense, where people can come and have listening into conversations
conversations and also take part in conversations if they wanted to. So what were some of the conversations or some of the key things people were saying that really kind of like also helped to kind of bring 100K to life? Because you're saying people are talking the talk, but no one's really walking the walk. And probably my other question on the back of that is, people come, to Ghana, for parties and all of this entertainment stuff, enjoyments, all this kind of stuff. They go and post stuff on social media, and then they go away. You understand? Why? There's people that do, but out of that group, there's also people that say that they also want to do things in Ghana, but then they don't really do it and they go away. Where do you think this is all going wrong? Like, what in your like, what do you think is going wrong here? Like, people are saying one thing but they're not living up to it. Like, is it harder than they expected to be able to do what you guys are doing, or is it the friction?
I know Clubhouse, I've been on there a few times. I'm not a regular, but I can say from the conversations I've had on Clubhouse to now, most of our team members are from Clubhouse. So
that's great.
And so things have actually materialized in terms of actually doing something. Yeah. And like ENOCH has been on Clubhouse talking and connecting with various people. So we all know the advantages of Clubhouse, where, it gives the platform to reach so many different people. And I think from there, we've been able to like network and meet people and actually do something like being proactive from those conversations. Yeah. And I think I would say what you just said some years ago, but looking around my circle of friends, the ones that have been here, a lot of them came for vacation, but a lot of them have actually done a lot of charity work in Ghana as well. Okay. So I love the fact that is now that is changing, and there's a lot more, onus in doing something in the country. And, that's exactly why, 100K for Ghana started as well, where we really wanted to do something in Ghana for the people and also for the nation, and essentially make an impact on the ground. So I can't really speak much in terms of what, in terms of people saying they wanted to do this and they didn't. But surprisingly, from what I've seen, they've actually translated, they've actually converted in terms of doing something on the ground. Doing something on the ground.
Yeah. So difference is it just may not be as public or as kind of as promoted. It could be just something private that they're doing. For
I think
countries here and there. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll take your last question first, right? Yeah. I believe that where a lot of people are trying to make impact, right? And it's fantastic to see. What is missing is the larger collective coming together to make a large impact, right? Because I've seen it year on year. I've been coming to Ghana every single year since 2012. And I have seen people go to the orphanages and give, right? Give generously. But what tends to happen is these are just small pockets of individuals trying to make an impact. Right now, there are great things happening in Ghana, but we also know there are very, very large areas in Ghana that do require a lot of support. So therefore, even if our circle of friends, let's just say 10 different circle of friends, go to different regions in Ghana, or even 16 or the 16 regions, and you do something once every year, that's obviously not sustainable. Yeah. Correct? You could give bags of rice and oil, and it's great that people are doing those things. Yeah. But then within 6 months, probably even less than that, apologies, within a month, that's now finished, right? Yeah. So I think the larger impact and the sustainable impact that will make those sort of ripple gains that we're looking for does need to come from a larger collective, right? Again, 100K or more, right? Yeah. By the way, just so for your viewers and listeners, we're not capping this at 100,000 people. Okay, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to say you care about Ghana, I care about Ghana. Let's see how quickly we can get to 100,000, right? And then we grow as a magnitude from there. Yep. So that's what I believe the answer is.
It's a smart goal, right?
Yeah.
It's a smart goal. 100K. It's not hard.
And the idea is, the 100K for Ghana. Right now, we're focusing on the agricultural sector. Yes. We have have the other industries that we want to target and go into as well. So it could be 100K for Ghana real estate, could be 100K for Ghana, something totally different. And so there's potential to go into all of these different industries. And to add on what ENOCH said as well, sustainability. That's the key word. I think a lot of the charities and us, one of the main difference with our calls, onboarding calls at the beginning, is sustainability. We don't just want to do a one-off project and then leave it. We need it to be sustainable. Like we're trying to create something that will be around for many years, and that's something that ENOCH pointed out that I really liked and I was really passionate about. I think like I said, a lot of people come in and do a lot of charitable work here, but there is no structures in place for them to do it for the long term. And that's one of the things that 100K for Ghana want to put in place so that,
So that makes sense. So look, I think what I've taken so far is that you get people doing like one-off things here and there, even in December, or it could even be like a public figure. They'll do one-off, projects or things here and there, and then they go off to their country or wherever they came from. And of course, it's not sustainable. It's obviously it's nice, whatever. It's it's very kind of like PRE, but then it's not really sustainable. And I think that's the actual fact. But what you're saying is 100K for Ghana. I guess I think the good thing here is that, let's say people who aren't able to have a sustainable charity or do things on an ongoing basis, they can rather maybe put money and resources and whatever 200K for Ghana in instead of trying to do these one-off things to keep that sustainability going, which is a fantastic idea.
And I think you've said it quite succinctly, right? Like I said, I've been coming to Ghana every single year since 2012, and I haven't seen any organizations that I want to say I'll put some money into because they're making the necessary impact. Not to say and not to discredit the organizations that have been here before us, because we know there are plenty. But we know there are plenty of NGOs that are doing the right things out there. But here's the thing: we all want the same thing, so why the silos?
True. Well, why all of these different why are these individuals doing what they're doing individually when we can just come together and be stronger? It's the strength in numbers,
collaboration.
Right? There you go. It makes more sense. We can do things quicker, better, faster,
Fantastic.
And all of the above.
That's it.
And this is another question. So, I guess I don't like bring up the government, but do you think if the government was a bit more stable and a bit more competent and a bit more everything, all of the above, right? Do you think there will be a need for 100K for Ghana?
Let me answer it this way, right?
It's part of the problem, right?
Yeah, let me answer it this way. Even the world's most sustainable and largest economy, which is the US economy, they have charities, right? You look at somewhere like America, that even the government schemes like their SNAP food movement or they also have a social welfare movement. It exists everywhere, right? So what I can say is, in our developing nation here in Ghana, the government's doing what appears that they can do, right? Because we do also have a backlog of debt and so on, right? Here's the thing that I absolutely love about some of the administrations I've seen in my lifetime, is that, most of the time, they're doing their best to build basic infrastructure that didn't exist before. Because you need to have the basic infrastructure in order for the people to succeed. So local amenities, and then additionally, things like One District, One Factory, I believe is a great initiative. Because I always use this example, if you bear with me.
All right.
Where I live in the Midlands, right? It's
in the UK, by the way.
Yeah, in the UK. It's known as the leather part of the UK. There are at least 20 shoe factories in that part of the world. And you would have heard some of these shoe brands before. I myself buy a lot of these shoe brands. But within a small square meter of area, many, many years ago, and you'll see these crests on the buildings as you drive past them, established in 1862, established in 1912, and these legacy brands out there, right? When the UK was going through its industrial revolution, we didn't have that opportunity in this country. Right? So what I see, and this is my humble opinion, is that we've gone from not having any development projects maybe 70 years ago to now maybe we're skipping into the digital age. So what happens in the middle, which I believe in the digital age in the Western world is built upon the Industrial Revolution 100 years ago, right? So they at least had the opportunity to build factories, to build car manufacturers, to build tires, the basic things where you go to Coventry, you go to Northampton, all these factories exist. We don't have that here.
We don't have that. So we didn't have the benefit of going through that era.
Precisely. To set up for success in the digital age. And I work in technology, you worked in technology, and you know how advanced we are with quantum computing and that sort of thing, right? So actually, my thing is this: we still have a traditional part of the world in Ghana. When you go to the Volta region, you go to KOFI, the eastern region, and so on, we still live in a traditional way. And actually, that traditional way is still quite lucrative. Right? So let's not overlook that, and let's figure out a way to actually empower those people with social enterprises and cooperatives, so they can also have access to amenities like healthcare, social well-being, education, because that's actually what's going to breed the next generation here. Because if we all leave our villages and our towns in Adedomek, Betwe, KOFI, Trom, and those places to come to Accra because we're going to get a services job in a restaurant, that's not a sustainable future for Ghana. That's my humble opinion, though.
No, it's facts. It's actual facts, because I mean, there's only so many restaurants, right? There's only so much staff you can have in those restaurants. You know, whether or not they're competent, that's another conversation. But then there's also, you know, like this life outside of Accra, right? It's not, Ghana's not just Accra.
Yes.
I think a lot of people forget that when they come and they do what they do. It's you know, it's what, how many, 15 regions now that they added? 16?
Yep.
Yeah, because they used to be 12, I think, when I used to live here. But then, yeah, I mean, and all of those regions, you know, this is the heart and soul of those regions. You know, there's the basics, right? So actually, let's talk about some of the stuff that you guys have been doing, setting up. So the Kente weaving factory, the health screening in the Volta region, right? What else? Is there anything else that we're missing that you guys have done so far on the trips? Mushroom farms,
KOFI, eastern region as well.
We're gonna have some pictures of these in the show notes, guys. So you just look out for it. Yeah.
So this is something I know this is something I've been working on the last 5 months, and believe it or not, you know, a lot of the team members are placed in different parts of the world. We've been doing this virtually, like up until December, and we all came together to actually see the hard work that, you know, that's been put in. We have people in Ghana as well. We've been working with a country manager whose name is Bennett, who's on the ground, who really has been running the whole show, and really has been working with us to really create these things. So one of the main ones is the Kente weaving factory that you just mentioned, and we'll be providing an update on that very soon in terms of how well, you know, everything's gone and the progress that's been made on that. One of the main things I did want to point out as well when we're talking about funding and finance is transparency, and that's something that we're very, very conscious about. We want to be able to be transparent in terms of all of our projects, to see where all the money's going, and to see, you know, every project in terms of the budgets and expenses, you know, to see where everything is going. So with regards to the Volta region, we Kente weaving factory in the Petwe area.
Petwe. Where is that? What region is that? Is in the Volta region?
Yeah, so that's the Agotema traditional region.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you find, if you're looking on the map, I mean, you go past Sigakope, and then you begin to enter into those regions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So one of the reasons that we know that the Volta region is, and particularly the Petwe area, is very known for the Kente weaving, right? Kente is very popular in that area, and the skills and the talent in that area is amazing. If you see some of the fabrics from that region, is amazing. People travel from various regions to go there to buy, you know, the Kente and the fabrics.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to base the Kente weaving factory there.
Makes sense.
Right now, we've just about completed the Kente weaving factory, and we did a health screening for the people of that area at the Adedomi Government Hospital, where we collaborated with the hospital to do basic health screening checks for the locals. And we had up to 500 people turn up for basic things such as, you know, blood pressure, glucose level, and, you know, basic health checks such as those items. We also worked with a company called Medical to get some doctors to fly in from Kumasi to come there to really just check, you know, the locals for all of of these type of basic checks.
Okay.
And these
how difficult was that to? Sorry to interrupt you. How difficult was that to get the doctors involved? But there's some challenges in getting some of the support and the partners.
So I would say no difficulty whatsoever.
Okay.
Again, Medical, which is the organization we work with, and they also have another arm of the organization called Thinknovate, which is actually a very, very cool software that allows you. So if you went in for a health check with Medical, on their software, which is provided by Thinknovate, you then have a patient record, your personal patient record, right? Just like the NHS, right? You can go wherever you are in the UK and they can look you up. We need to have that here, and Thinknovate are leading the way on that. So for us, it was an absolute no-brainer. Again, we all want the same things, right? So collaborating with Thinknovate and Medical, for us, it was a very, very good collaboration. And none of our team, as much as we're growing our team, are medical experts. So we might as well revert to the medical experts, right?
True.
So when we landed on the 26th of December in the Volta region, we went straight to the palace. Right, and the Queen Mother of the area, as well as the Paramount Chief and the Stew Chiefs, all completely embraced us on the project. We went there. Luckily for us, we had Bennett, as Samuel said, our country manager, as well as Nehemiah, who's part of our team, who are locals. Well, they were born there, or at least they have lineage there.
Great advantage.
Right. So they speak the language, and we were able to run the custom quite well from a sort of traditional standpoint. Then we went over to see the site. Right, and they saw it and they understood that, oh, okay, you guys have only been around for 5 months. You've decided to actually come to Ghana to see the hard work you've been putting in. So actually, we appreciate you, and anything whatsoever you need, let us know. And that was direct from the Paramount Chief. So here's the thing, right? I encourage everyone, whether you're here or you're out there, to understand that we're building a vehicle to connect the entire Ghana, whether you're Ashanti, you're Ewe, whatever. You guys out there know people don't give a damn whether you're Ewe or Ashanti or whatever, right? In fact, people don't even care if you're Ghanaian. You're just black.
I guess it depends. I mean, tribal preferences only depends. Maybe it depends, but very rare reasons. You understand?
Yeah,
very rare scenarios. But
but you pick that up outside of Ghana, it doesn't mean anything.
To anyone, you're Ghanaian and black first, and any tribal or the background that you're from. And that's something that
secondary matter.
Kwame Nkrumah said as well. And it's important for us to mention that when we're doing all of these type of operations and putting these things in place, it's important to follow tradition. So when we went to the Volta, like ENOCH said, that's why one of the main things was to introduce ourselves to the Paramount Chief and the chiefs around that area and the Queen Mother. They blessed us, they blessed the project, and then that's when we started our ongoing operations. So although we're coming together to put all of these projects in place, one of the main things, like we said, is collaboration. Like ENOCH said, we partnered up with Medical. We collaborated Medical. All of these took hours of virtual phone calls during the COVID period.
This is what I wanted to hear. How difficult was it to get some of these partnerships done, and this as a result need the support to put these projects together. I mean, it's not an easy feat, and I have to applaud you, ENOCH, Samuel, and the team for what you're doing, because a lot of people get turned away from the friction that and the challenges it takes to get these things off the ground. But then once these things are off the ground, then things are moving, things are happening, people then want to start to get involved. But I think really people should start to get involved right from the beginning. So once it grows, you can say, hey, look, I was there.
I was part of the inception.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, you are right. I think it's only right we talk about the day-to-day operations, right? Because I think maybe we don't want to give the facade that, we all met on Clubhouse and we started this thing, 5 months later. No. We all have our full-time jobs.
Yes,
100%. Right? It's all very much challenging roles that we have. We don't do 9 to 5s, right? As Samuel, he works all day, and so do I, and so does the rest of the team. However, the passion. the passion will allow you to carve out a couple of hours each day, even on the weekend, 100%. to have some Zoom calls, right? And Winnie, who was our main contact with at medical. Shout out to Winnie, was able to bring everyone together to ensure that, you know, there was good collaboration work going on. Absolutely. Right? And I love Winnie because she doesn't like doing calls longer than 30 minutes. Hard stops, absolutely.
One of the amazing things that, you know, I've loved about this is that, you know, we all come from our various backgrounds and we're all professionals in our own field. Yes, but we all have experience in managing teams, in delivering successful deliverables. Yes. And, you know, so that's something that's transferable that we bring into 100K for Ghana in our spare time. You know, all the work that we're doing is for free. We're not getting paid for this, but it's come from the passion that we have. And every time we speak to other people about it, even if it's for 5 minutes, you know, the reception is always been great. Always been great. So that's something that, you know, we've always received. We've always received so much love from Ghanaians and even non-Ghanaians about what we are doing. You know, hence why we're here. You heard about us and then you wanted to, you know, talk to us about 100K for Ghana. So the reception has been great, but it is important for us to take actions and move to the next stage in terms of, you know, like fulfilling the projects that we want to fulfill. And like you mentioned, you know, some of the challenges come from, you know, operationally and day to day, you know, different time zones, scheduling calls, you know,
it's a lot
like it costs money, expenses, people using their own money to jump on these calls and etc. All of these are some of the challenges, you know, data, you know, data in this country is not cheap.
Third world problems, man.
So actually, Adrian, how did you hear about 100K for Ghana?
Good question.
So I heard about 100K for Ghana through Doyen. Shout out to Doyen. For putting this, you know, collaboration together. So obviously Doyen told me about your initiative, and then of course that led to a conversation between me and you, and then of course young Ghanaian professionals bringing you into that, and obviously I was continually reminded about 100K for Ghana through the platform, which is great. But of course, so that's through word of mouth, essentially, right?
Yes.
So I think word of mouth is probably going to be one of the biggest drivers for 100K for Ghana, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I agreed. And again, shout out to Doyen. Obviously, as you probably know, she's got Like Me Health, which is her organization she's got going in the UK also. One thing I love about what she's doing is I'm quite passionate about anything to help our sickle cell brothers and sisters, and because I have a few friends and loved ones who do suffer from sickle cell, right? So Doyen I think she's doing a PhD now in public health, I believe, and she's pushing the agenda out there to help to basically raise the awareness, right, that our brothers and sisters do need a lot more attention that are suffering from sickle cell. So word of mouth got us here, right? Word of mouth seems to be coming back to us. He's having calls from family members in the States saying, I just heard about you on City FM and so on, right?
Love it.
The movement we're trying to build is going to be one of a large magnitude, right? And you heard it here first. And what we all want effectively is to have a seamless transition from wherever we are in Abuja into Ghana, right? That's all we effectively want, so that the transition can be seamless. But we need to ensure that our brothers and sisters in the local regions are also enjoying the development that the rest of Ghana is seeing. And that's really, really passionate for me. And I think that if we don't get those, our brothers and sisters to a point where, again, they have the same amenities we take for granted, then there's no point in developing just Accra. We might as well just call Accra Ghana and let's move on.
Like ENOCH mentioned as well, this is a movement. We want to really spark and motivate a movement of helping each other and you know, getting people you know, to rise up in the ladder to basically to the highest point that you can reach. One of the things we want to do is pay people livable wages, and you know, we aim to pay above the minimum wage. You know, and within most of these projects that, you know, all of these projects that we're looking to put together. So the idea really, like ENOCH said, is helping our brothers and sisters all around Ghana. The idea is that once everyone is doing well, we will all flourish, and we just all need to collaborate to make that happen.
So here's a personal story. Sorry to jump in there. So when we were doing the health drive in Adidome, right? So a large number of people turned up. In fact, they turned up before we got there, before we arrived, right?
Passion is there.
And it got to, so I didn't quite understand that. Yes, people want to know what their vital signs are, but they also needed a takeaway. I didn't quite get that. And the takeaway, what I was told was simply give the people some form of medication to take away with them.
Okay.
I really believe that, okay, we're going to tell you about your vital signs and so on, and you be happy with that, and then you can, go and get your prescription. So it took me a couple of hours to assimilate to that. Then I said, all right, let's go and buy some medicine on the spot, right? And they said, okay, we're going to need about 1,500 packs of medication. Okay.
So how many people that came?
Yeah.
1,500 people?
No. But obviously you're going to give about 5 packs per person, right?
Roughly, how many people turned up?
So I think we've got about 250 to 300 people turn up, right? And they were coming throughout the day.
Whole town right there, man.
Right. And it's a small hospital in Adidome. Okay. So I went into the local chemist of the hospital.
Okay.
Said, okay, 1,500. I took a big deep breath. I thought, let me just pay for that, right? It came up to 164 Ghana cedis. 164 Ghana cedis, right?
What, for 250 people?
No, for 1,500 packs of medication. And for me, that was a humbling moment.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a bunch of us that are here right now, been here since December. We're drinking Hennessy 3 times the price. Let's keep it real, right? So we lose the sense sometimes, right? Because we're in our bubbles and we're in our cocoons, right? But you just need to go 2 or 3 hours, even in Accra. But let's just say you need to go 2 or 3 hours outside of Accra and realize people are living with next to nothing. And actually, once I assimilated to the fact that the people, yes, they were very much appreciative of the health drive, but also needed takeaway, and we managed to get these medication. Trust me, that
it's not enough.
Everything changed. Everything changed. The dynamic, it just changed. So again, we encourage people to join our movement. Right. We do need more personnel. We do need more hands on deck. We're encouraging people to donate their time, their resources, and we're encouraging people to donate their money, right? Because some of these initiatives, and by the way, I just want to also say this because Samuel's here.
Go on.
The medical health drive wasn't even in our agenda maybe 4 months ago. We were coming to Ghana to deliver our project 10-10-10, which was we were going to do the mushroom grow house, we were going to do the Kente production center, and there was a third project that we've put on hold. But once we spoke a bit more about giving to the people at a medical perspective, that became a bit more important, and then we added that at a later stage.
Okay, so you switch priorities.
Exactly, right? So I just want to tell that personal story that we were able to buy medication for 250 people, 300 nearly, with under 200 Ghana cedis, and that needs to put into perspective 100%. To the listening and viewers.
And the reason for that as well is it was such it was something to see, because as they were doing the checks, the health checks, and usually when someone goes in for a health check, they look normal, they look good, but in the end the doctor will diagnose, this person has got this disease, or this person's got this, and in the end it was an urgent requirement for them to have that medication. Then it's not something that we're going to say, oh no, we don't have the medication. So that's, like ENOCH mentioned, is something that we had to go and get the medication for, and it's something now that we do want to do annually. Because we've realized the significance and the importance of such that health screening check.
100%.
So it was an amazing day.
Imagine, and that's just like a small. That's like the equivalent of like a small village or a small town. All the
Precisely.
So imagine you get like all of these different towns and regions and villages across like the country.
Basically, there's a lot of work to do, right?
This is why.
It's basic health. It's basic health check, but it's an empowerment when you see the smiles on people's faces, after the day and etc. It's amazing.
It's definitely worth it after all of that. Yeah. But again, some more reasons why you guys should contribute. Obviously, we'll tell you where you guys can contribute and get involved with the 100K for Ghana team, towards the end of the show. But this is really, really good stuff. I mean, how many stories of this do I hear of work on the ground that's taking place in Ghana, like for a really good cause? I mean, I don't hear it too often. You talked about earlier on about how your country managers have been kind of helping out and stuff. I think I came across an interview one of your country managers on Joy FM.
Oh yes,
I mean, so you guys been getting some pretty good media coverage. So, you mentioned City FM as well. How's the media reacted to what you guys have been doing, and have not just shrugged you off as just just another body organization that's trying to do something for Ghana and walking away?
So I just want to touch on very quickly that, again, a lot of relationships were made on Clubhouse. Clubhouse need to pay us some money, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a monetization option on there.
Okay, fantastic. They need to donate. Clubhouse needs to donate.
Yeah.
But a lot of relationships that we're capitalizing on, right? Because again, a lot of talk was on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I kept asking the question, so what are we going to do about it, right? Whatever the situation was.
I see you also asking that questions in the WhatsApp groups as well, which is important.
Okay, yes. So the young professional Ghanaians platform, right?
Yeah.
So I kept asking that question. What are you going to do about it? Because we can sit here and complain all day long.
One thing about ENOCH as a very solution driven.
He's an action man. I love that.
So luckily we managed to make some connections in the media space, also on Clubhouse. So, individuals like Araba Kumsin, individuals like Giovanni Caleb, there's a couple more I won't mention just yet until we appear on their platform. But the reception has been good. And again, when we have a story to tell and when there are deliverables around the story that we're telling, then it becomes a bit more enjoyable to go and talk about it. And it's not just a concept anymore, right? As it was maybe 4 or 5 months ago, right? We actually have things that we deliver. And quite honestly, what keeps me up at night is the sustainability aspect, right? Because although it looks great what we're doing now, there's still a lot more work to do.
So much more.
So much more work to do.
Yeah.
Precisely.
So this is just the beginning.
So I think media houses have been open arms, and thank you, Adrian, for having us on here. Right? I think it's paramount that we talk about these sort of things at the very least, so people can hear what we're doing, right? Even if someone Ghanaian, non-Ghanaian doesn't, are not in a position to donate their time, money, or resource, at least the fact that they can hear 100K for Ghana, what we're doing, I think it's just as important.
100%. Wow. Remarkable work you guys are
and
doing.
Just to mention I think the media partners you mentioned, so that's Giovanni Caleb. That was at 3FM 92.7. And as soon as we reached the Volta region and Petware on the 26th, we managed to get in contact with Volta 1 Global 105.1 as well. And they were kind enough to have us on there as well to talk about our project. And we were on Joy TV recently as well to talk about our project. And funny enough, we were on CTFM. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but we appreciate it.
You didn't even know. CTFM. You didn't even know, but you paid on the radio station.
Right.
Fantastic.
So the reception from the media houses has been amazing. Obviously we want to push this out there as much as possible so that everyone's aware of 100K for Ghana and the projects that we're working on. We want all the donations
and the sponsors
to come www.100kforghana.com.
Absolutely.
Go on the website,
hit that website
and donate and find out more, or the social media handles, which is 100K for Ghana. So we want as much coverage as possible to put it out there. And if anyone can reach us, DM us on Instagram or send a message through our website, and
And as we're assimilating to Ghana, there is a MoMo too, which is
these guys are not
5 months.
Any
5 months. We set up these operations in 5 months. That's amazing. If I say so myself.
What you guys are doing.
So the MoMo 020 514 1855. I repeat.
Please repeat.
020 514 1855. So that's the 100K for Ghana line.
Yeah.
Right. So you can reach us on there. And you can also MoMo us. Right. And I think
no excuses now.
Yeah.
What are the options available? Oh, we don't have paper. No, we have it. I'll try. I couldn't donate because of this. No, we have this.
And I also do want to say that we're building another collaboration and alliance with Pay Angel, right? Because we all know that, because we're such a global team, sometimes, transferring money through our website or whatever can be quite challenging.
Yeah.
So when you go to Pay Angel, our code is 100K, 100K.
Okay.
And with that, you can type that in if you haven't used Pay Angel before.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so you can go and download Pay Angel with the code 100K, 100K.
Okay.
And actually, that's a very, very effective and easy way to donate to us because guess what? Pay Angel as an organization will give us a kickback once people use that code.
Okay.
Right? And I also want to mention Pay Angel, the collaboration only just began maybe a month ago, and they already have donated 3 hospital beds to us that we will donate to 2 hospitals in the Volta region.
Fantastic.
So we encourage other organizations that want a vehicle that is making impact and want to sponsor a vehicle that's making impact like 100K to also reach out to us. Thank you.
and sorry, just to add on to that, so right now our 2 main projects is the mushroom grow house in the eastern region, which is KOFI, the capital of the eastern region.
Yeah.
And we have the Kente manufacturing factory in the Volta region.
Yeah.
We've got various projects in the pipeline that we want to work on.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's important for me to mention that these 2 were started early, mainly from our funds and our money. We wanted to start this because we knew that there's a lot of charities out there in Ghana and they're doing this and they're doing that. But what sets us apart is that we just hit the ground running. 5 months in, we just hit the ground running and we wanted to show what we could do. And now that we've shown what we could do, and we want to now announce some of the things we have in our pipeline. This is why we need the donations, in order to make this impact that we've been talking about, which is really just to create jobs through sustainable social enterprises.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic. And so in terms of 2022 pipeline, I mean, that's what I was kind of going to ask you guys about. So it's just, the plan is just to continue on with these projects. Are there any new projects that you guys gonna?
There are some projects, but we don't want to talk about
it. You don't need to talk about them.
But we do want to solidify the Kente weaving factory and the mushroom grow house in the KOFI region, like I mentioned, to get it in a sustainable area.
Yes.
One of the things that some of the older generation have advised us on, and they've been very receptive on the idea and what we're doing. So people such as my dad and some of your uncles and a few people within government, etc., they've advised us to really just focus on certain things and make sure we streamline the processes and the operations so that we can spread across the various regions. So we're not trying to run before we walk. We're here for a long time, so we want to do it right.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And I just want to touch on that a little bit. Being nimble is important as an organization because we don't want to have any bureaucracies or red tape.
Yeah.
So it's important that, people that are listening and watching us that want to join us need to understand that we are very much an organization that is, I'll call it flat if I'm brutally honest. Yeah, they're giving me a title, but I can be doing everything at any point in time at the same time. So we do want to be nimble. And some of the projects in the pipeline, like Samuel said, we want to ensure that they can be sustainable. Bennett, our country manager, will put systems in place to ensure that the right people are leading those organizations. So they're turning around what we want to achieve, which are livable wages.
Yeah.
And also, because of the relationship we're building with some of the traditional leaders, some of the local authorities and such, they're putting us on some of the future projects that will also be sustainable and will help the local people, which are some of the things that we're talking to some of the local leaders about now. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your donations coming, because we're here for a long time, like Samuel said.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't think you guys are going away anytime soon. I think the work rate, from what I've seen, has been absolutely phenomenal. To see what you guys achieved in such a short space amount of time, only God knows what 12 months is going to bring.
Right.
And 5 years,
right,
instead of 5 months, only God knows what's going to happen.
I love that. Yeah,
in that time period. But yeah, absolutely fantastic work. In terms of like finding people, I mean, obviously everyone knows in Ghana it's difficult to have people on the ground, to oversee or run things or manage projects. How difficult was it for you, ENOCH and Samuel, to find reliable, trustworthy people to work with?
Do you want to take that?
Yeah, I think coming into it, one of the things is that it's challenging to find people to work with in Ghana. And, I know a lot of people, for example, overseas are building houses. They've come across, told us experiences of working with people that have gone sour and etc. But to be honest with you, we took that into consideration, and going into it, we've been very conscious of who we work with. One of the things is that you have to believe the vision in order to step into this organization and this charity, and since we've started, everyone that's worked with us, they've been working for us for free.
Yeah.
And they've been just as passionate. I think when you speak to every Ghanaian about, helping Ghana, everyone wants to. Yeah, everyone has the will. Yeah. But in terms of going the extra mile, like the immediate team that we have so far, oh my days, it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Incredible.
I can't really say anything bad about the team that we have so far anyway. We're looking for more people to join. Okay. But now that, I think we're growing, becoming bigger, we're putting together more structures in place. We do need people that want to work and believe in what we're trying to do, and that's needed. So initially, before you even come in, trust me, the phone call alone with ENOCH, he will filter you out to make sure that you're ready to take this on. Yeah. Because some people may sign up. They say it's a charity, they might sign up, and
of course, they
may just want it for social media posts and like sponsorship and etc. But it is work. Like I said, ENOCH has ENOCH could be doing anything from sending money to this person to a contractor to sign in, or like there's a lot of admin stuff and not sexy work going on. So it's not something that is for the faint-hearted, I would say, for sure.
Absolutely. And I think this is something that could be translated to any kind of like business, organization, or startup. I mean, usually sometimes it can be tough, sometimes it can be lonely, sometimes it takes a lot of unsexy work before you start to see the sexy stuff surface, and obviously this takes a lot of discipline and determination, and of course you guys have that. So it's good to hear there's like a screening process, a system, evaluation process in place, to make sure you guys get the right talent, because in Ghana here, you'll send them 100K, no pun intended, and then they will not build your house, they'll build their own house, they'll go and chop somewhere. You understand?
No, so that's one of the things, very transparent, and then we keep receipts, send an email for request of anything to pay for anything. Our VP Jasmine, is very hands on board. So our team is we built a good team from where we started 5 months ago, mainly because I think everyone believes in the vision and passionate about what we want to do. And our calls, we have regular calls. We have calls for fun now. We have calls for fun now. So tomorrow, one of the things is that we, if we're, for example, building the mushroom house or the Kente weaving factory, like every stage we plan in terms of costing and everything, like how many cement blocks and everything, and that's needed, because we know that in Ghana, if you just give someone money and say, okay, in a week I want to see this, you don't want to see that.
There's no accountability, lack of accountability, and tracking.
We've taken all of these stories and experiences definitely on board, and we're very proactive. That's one of the things now to prevent all of these type of things happening.
Do you think, this is a personal question, don't take it the wrong way, hopefully it comes out the right way, do you think, obviously both of you having been born here, fluent in Tree, the languages, etc., and obviously having a good understanding of Ghanaian culture and how people operate and how the systems work, do you think if you guys were born in the UK rather instead of Ghana, do you think you would have this much success?
That's a very good question. Yeah. I think doing business or doing any charitable work, it's important to understand the landscape you're in.
Yeah.
We're not in the UK, we're not in the West, or like Ghana's different, Africa's different. So you can't bring the same mindset from wherever you're coming from to try and implement certain processes here.
Yeah.
It's important to understand how things work here, the traditions, the cultures, in order to then get going. So I think that's important. I don't think you can just come from, from outside and say, oh, I want to do this and try and, bring you the theory that you've learned from abroad or like the experience that you have from abroad here. I think you have to understand the people. And, ENOCH comes from a sales background. I come from a sales background as well.
Fantastic.
But one of the common themes about us and our team is that we're very personable. We're very relatable. So we're very relatable with the people. We understand the issue at hand before we get to the solution. So I think that's an important prerequisite to doing anything in Ghana.
Absolutely.
So can I answer that question?
Yeah, go for it.
This is a personal question. I give a personal answer.
This guy.
So you said if we were born in the UK, would we see the success? All right.
Yeah. Having the advantages that you have, being able to speak the language, relate.
So there's a certain juice factory in this country that is run and headed by someone that's not Ghanaian, right? Someone that doesn't look like me and you. Yeah. And he's turning over $150 million a year. Yeah. And he's been here donkeys.
Blue skies.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
There is also a 1,000-hectare land of pineapple farm that is run by a non-Ghanaian, right? And these are just two primary examples I want to give you that are doing extremely well, right? And these people were not born here, right? And they're doing really, really well. So my answer to that is this. Where there's a will, there's a Smith, right? So,
oh my gosh, this guy. Jason in the background's laughing.
I'm old.
I like this.
I'm getting ready for all these dad jokes. Yeah, I'm getting ready
Reels.
For these dad jokes.
That's clipped. That's a clip already. That's going to be a clip.
Right, but the message is this, guys. Yeah, we're seeing it, right? I mean, you have to go down Spintex Road and see how many non-Ghanaian organizations are thriving over there, right? Although they're headquartered here. I don't believe for 1 second because we're born here we're seeing the success. I don't believe that. If I wasn't born here and I still had the affinity to Ghana, we would still be successful because that's what we want to achieve, right? Yeah. So this is why I encourage every single person, right? Whether you look like me or not, and you care about the future of Ghana, because right now if you close your eyes and you think, what will Ghana look like in 10 years? What do you see? Right.
I see smart cities. I see a lot more probably division between the rich and the poor.
Right.
Potentially. That's all I've got at the moment.
Good.
Yeah.
And who's going to build those smart cities?
We are.
Right. And who's going to ensure there isn't that huge gap between the haves and the have-nots?
We will probably do that as well.
Right. So it's really down to us.
Yeah, no, I really believe in the power of manifestation, and it's essential. Like, it's important for Ghanaians to take ownership, and come back and or if you believe in what we're doing, contribute, donate, join us, support, and join the movement.
Excellent. ENOCH, Samuel's been great having you on the show. Thank you so much. Obviously, you mentioned the websites and where people can find you.
Should I drop the MoMo again? Should I drop the MoMo?
Yes. Go on, go for it.
Go for the website.
Go for it.
Okay, so guys, first of all, right?
Yeah.
www.100KFORGHANA.com or just Google 100K for Ghana, right? We really do want to talk to everyone that has any interest around what we're doing, right? And you can reach us on that. You can also reach us on info@100KFORGHANA.com, You can reach me, ENOCH, at 100KFORGHANA.com. And same with Sam. And
Samuel at 100KFORGHANA.com.
Yeah, same with our VP, Jasmine, everyone on our team. First name at 100KFORGHANA.com. I think it's important that we do this as a collective.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. And Samuel will tell you, we have now probably had about 300 Zoom calls in the last 5 months. Yes.
Yep.
So some of the unsexy stuff he was telling you.
Yeah.
And that and why we had 300 Zoom calls and conference calls? Because we wanted to ensure we heard from as many people as possible on how we can structure this thing. And I'll be brutally honest, some of your listeners and viewers would have heard me talk about 100K in a different concept maybe 6 months or 5 months ago. But we are where we are, and we've designed what the structure is right now, which is a registered NGO in the UK and in Ghana, all right, a limited by guarantee organization, and we're going to build upon that, right? 100%. And Samuel alluded to something and it's just come back to me. We want to be a dynamic organization. So yes, we're building a Kente processing factory in Agotime region, and we're also going to build our mushroom grow house. We want to be dynamic. So who knows, because we have so much skill set, we could tomorrow be building a real estate platform, and it will be a non-profit just to help the people. And we've seen that before. There's precedent for that, right? And we could be building the smart cities you mentioned as well, right? There's precedent for that also. So where there's a requirement, where there's a development requirement, we would look at it, right? But like I said, we want to ensure that the local people are at least beginning to see the same amenities you and I take for granted.
Absolutely. So it levels the playing field.
It levels the, thank you. You see, I couldn't have said it better. So the MoMo, again, is 020-514-1855.
That's not messing around. We're having the show notes as well. Where can they find you on social media, Samuel?
So my Instagram is SA_OSEI.
He's promoting himself.
And 100K for Ghana, simply 100K for Ghana on Instagram and Twitter. ENOCH on any entry on Instagram as well. If you want to DM any of us, but 100K for Ghana on Instagram, you can find us. And one of the slogans that I really like that 100K for Ghana is individually brilliant yet collectively superior.
Yes.
So we're really trying to collaborate in terms of building up Ghana. So that's the vision. Yeah, and as individuals, we all fantastic, right? Adrian, you're awesome, right? Joe in the corner, she's awesome, right? Samuel is bloody fantastic, right? And I'm okay, right? And to me, it's a no-brainer. Why don't we just all come together and do this thing, right? So collectively superior, individually brilliant. It is the slogan, and I think the final thing I do want to say is this. I want people to take themselves out of their bubbles a tiny bit, just for a moment, and remember that 100K for Ghana were able to do a health drive and pay 1,500 packs of medication with under 200 Ghana cedis. And when you think about that, right, you realize that there's a lot more work to do, but it's all hands on deck and we can get it done. 100%. We can get it done. Right? A lot less party into. Yeah. Right. I mean, party, have fun. But remember that your bottle of VSOP, right, can pay for a bunch of medication. Everything's about balance.
Right.
Balance. Like Michael Dapper said, balance. Balance.
I think he's actually in Ghana himself.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Look at that. Michael Dapper, 100K for Ghana.
You better contact his manager. All right, guys, that's it. There you've had it. 100K for Ghana. You can get all the show notes from today's episode by visiting thesoundofaccra.com/100K for Ghana. Samuel, ENOCH, you've been amazing. And guys, we'll speak to you in the next one.
Thanks for having us.
Lovely. Thank you.
Bye-bye.